Hey there, bookworms. Welcome to Pouring Over Books, a podcast where we dive into the books we love and maybe a few we didn't. I'm your host, LaShawn, and every week I'll be deep diving into what I'm reading, recommendations, and talking about all the things that we love about books. So grab your favorite coffee or tea, find a cozy spot, and let's get ready to pour over some great books together. Hey, friends. Happy Black History Month and welcome back to the Pouring Over Books podcast. I am LaShawn, your host, and I am so happy that you are here. Well, friends, January felt like the longest year of my life, I swear. But February has dawned and brought Black History Month, and with it, I feel a little bit better. Feel a lot better. This month started off with a bang, of course, with Beyonce said Knowles Carter finally getting the Album of the Year award for Cowboy Carter. Now, let me be honest and tell you something. Cowboy Carter is a brilliant album. The nuance, the harmonies, the wordplay, it is excellent. It is easily in my top 3 albums of her. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at number 2 for me. For gets more. I think that's because of sentimental value. And 2 might be tied with self-titled. Anyway, I digress. But what I'm wanting to say is the album is excellent. But she should have won for Lemonade the year it was up. And that's not even my favorite album. Just saying it was brilliant. She should have won. But anyway, now let's get that out the way. Over stories this month. Over my IG stories this month, I'm sharing a book written by a Black author every day during February. So for 28 days, I'm sharing 28 books by Black authors that I think everyone should read. If you want to follow that, go ahead and follow me over on IG at LaShawn Wiltz, my name. And I will be doing that in stories every day. I think when I get to like a week's worth of books, I'll put it in a highlight in my feed so people who have missed it can go back and listen. Anyway, I decided to continue the theme here and give you 5 books to read during Black History Month by Black authors. I hope you find something to add to your TBR, not just this month, but for the rest of the year, because Black history cannot be contained to 1 month, and neither can all the books that Black authors have written. So let's get started. My first book is King by Jonathan Eigg. This book came on my radar because Demetria from Ratchet and Respectable made this her book club pick for this month. She'd been talking about this book for a while, but this is the first major biography of MLK in decades, and the first to include recently declassified FBI files, not the one the current administration is talking about, but some, because I think this book was written in 2023. Anyway, it is, from what I can tell, a new portrait of MLK and a side of him that we did not know. I'm always curious about the side of our icons that we do not see. Like, I think sometimes we tend to put them up on a pedestal and not see them as real people, especially MLK. I know that a lot of people don't realize, number one, he was young, and number 2, he was a real person with real problems. I'm really interested to learn more about this great man, even, his stars, his bad parts. I want to know it all. I think it makes for a more well-rounded person. Okay. The second book that I want to tell you to go ahead and pick up and read is Disappearing Acts by Terry McMillan. It's Love Month, friends, so I felt like I needed a romance novel in this list just to round it out. But this isn't just any romance. This is what I like to call the romance book. This book is so real and raw, and the love between Franklin and Zora is frankly beautiful. I will be honest and say that it's beautiful and it's real, but it's also have you sit to be like, girl, for real? You what? Girl, it's one of those books. Like, on the one hand, you'll be like, oh my God. Then the other hand, you'll be like, girl, you'll be side-eyed. You will side-eye Zora a couple of times. I haven't read this one. I'm going to be honest. I haven't read this one since I was in my 20s. And I first read it in high school because I got it as a Christmas gift. Don't judge my mama. She did not know what she was giving me at the time. But anyway, I think I will add it to my own reread list this year just to see how my perspective has changed. Because in the book club, we read Fly Girl last month. And I read that when I was 17, 18, I think. And now reading it in my late 40s was a totally different experience. So I'm interested to see how my perspective has changed on this one too. And if you read this book when it first came out, 30 years ago, it's time for you to reread it too. The third book that I want to include on this list is Legend Born by Tracy Dion. I wanted to include a little bit of everything on this list, so this is a little bit of fantasy for you because, yes, Black writers write fantasy and they do an excellent job. I love this series. It is a series, and I am highly anticipating the third book that is coming out in March, so much so that I might go to a midnight release party because she deserves the hype just like the Fourth Wing series is getting. This is a YA contemporary fantasy novel. It weaves together Southern folk traditions, Black girl magic, and the King Arthur legend. It is chef's kiss. It is one of the few fantasy novels that I have seen that does the King Arthur legend well. A lot of times but this one does it well with a twist, which is just chef's kiss. It is just awesome. Awesome, I tell you. Join it, start reading it, go to a midnight release party in March. You've got enough time to read both books before March. Go ahead. Actually, it comes out March 4th, so maybe not, but still, go. All right. The next book that I am adding to the list is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Yes, The Color Purple. Do you know why I'm including this? Well-read, widely read classic, because most of you have, or say you have read this book because it's been out, the movie, everything. But most of you have never actually read, and you've only watched the movie. And let me tell you when I realized this. I realized this when people complained about how they made a whole new story when the musical came out. The musical starring Fantasia, when it came out, I forgot what year was that. Was that year before last or last year? When that musical came out and there was like a brouhaha about, oh my God, the story is so different. When did all of this lesbian? It was glaringly obvious that folks had not actually read the book, or you would have realized that the musical version followed the book more closely than the original book did. So go pick this up, re-educate, reorient yourself to the story of The Color Purple. The movies are excellent. The book is better. Always. All right. The next, I had to get off my little high horse with that one. Sorry. It's a pet peeve of mine. Every time I saw a conversation around that, I just wanted to scream. I was like, y'all showing that y'all really don't read. Anyway, the next book that I want to include is The 272, The Families Who Were Enslaved and Sold to Build the American Catholic Church by Rachel L. Swan. I saw this on a booktubers list, and I wish I could find her account, but it's like TikTok, when you see a video and then you accidentally refresh and then you can't find it again. I cannot find it again. But I saw this on a booktubers list and was immediately intrigued because who knew, But let me read you what the book is about. In 1838, a group of America's most prominent Catholic priests sold 272 enslaved people to save their largest mission project, what is now known as Georgetown University. In this groundbreaking account, journalist, author, and professor Rachel L. Swarns follows one family through nearly 2 centuries of indentured servitude and enslavement to uncover the harrowing or origin story of the Catholic Church in the United States. Through the saga of the Mahoney family, Swarns illustrates how the church relied on slave labor and slave sales to sustain its operations and to help finance its expansion. Oh, Lord, I had to include at least one heavy book on this list because it's Black History Month, and our history is not always pretty. It's Black history, and Black history is American history. So get into it. Sometimes the hard things are things that we need. So I have this book. I just got it from the library yesterday, and I plan on diving in sometime this month. Okay, that was the list, but I have an honorable mention, Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. Friends, in light of current events, I feel like everyone should read this book. Uh, Parable of the Sower starts on July 20th, 2024, and it was written in 1993, friends. It's like she time traveled. I mean, like I said in my stories the other day, I don't know if she was a prophet, a time traveler, or God was whispering in her ear, but she had something because there is just no way. Is this okay? This is a dystopian novel that takes place at a time in the future, United States, where climate change, wealth inequity, and corporate greed have made society unstable. Let me read that to you again. It takes place in the future United States. This was in 1993, the future United States, where climate change, wealth inequity, and corporate greed have made society unstable. And furthermore, California is inhospitable due to fires caused by climate change and drug addicted pyromaniacs. Oh, and a presidential candidate that may set the country back 100 years. Friend, read it. That child, I mean, like I said, I don't know if she was a prophet, if she time traveled, what? But that book is scary in its accuracy. I mean, stuff that you would have thought, oh, that can never happen. Okay, so that was my list. If you want more books by Black authors to read this month, like I said, follow me over on my Instagram stories and I will give you a new one every day this month. Or you can go head down to the show notes where I have left a link of a blog post full of suggestions for you, 28 to be exact. And as always, every book I've talked about today is listed in the show notes for your viewing and purchasing pleasure. Okay? All right, friends. So let's get into what I'm currently reading. I got an advanced reader copy of Can't Get Enough, Kennedy Ryan's new book that comes out this spring, and I am so damn excited. I literally will. My friends, I am going to wait until this weekend to dive into it because I need uninterrupted time with Hendrix. I am going to tell you, I will read it. I will probably not give my full review until closer to the book release. I'm a lot. As soon as I read it, I'm gonna tell y'all if it's good or not. So that I know it's gonna be good, but as soon as I read it, I will probably put up my initial thoughts and review. A formal review will come closer to when it comes out. But yes, I will go ahead and I just made that decision. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna review it on here. I'll tell y'all all about it. I cannot wait. But again, I'm gonna wait till this weekend, and also because I am still reading Onyx Storm. Now, I'm gonna tell you why. It is a great book. It is not that it's bad, but I decided not to rush through this book, and I am enjoying taking my time with it. I'm also doing a buddy read with my friend Jennifer on Storygraph. Do you know that on Storygraph you can do a buddy read where no matter if both of you are in different places, because she's ahead of me. So she can leave me notes and comments about where she is, and it locks her comments until I get to that portion of the book. I love, 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 love this concept and this idea. And it is just another reason why I suggest the Storygraph, which, by the way, is, since it's Black History Month, is owned and created by a Black woman. Get into it, friends. It is a great alternative to Goodreads. I love the stats over there. I love the graphics. I love this buddy read feature. I mean, every day I find new reasons to love it. But anyway, I digress. I got sidetracked. But Onyx Storm, yes, I'm reading it slow, and I find that is good for me because there are so many minute details I think that people are missing because they're trying to just say they got through it. And then they have to go back and listen. And plus, I'm trying, it's been really hard avoiding spoilers and theories. Even fan art has spoilers in it. My goodness. But I am really enjoying slowing down and reading this. So, it's good. I'm curious to how it ends because I can see that this is gonna be a cliffhanger and it's gonna make us mad. But anyway, what am I currently excited about? I am currently excited about these organic brownies that I found at Costco, recommended by my friend Tia. Oh my God, friends, they are like crack. I tell you, nothing about them tastes healthy or organic. It tastes like a brownie bite. Like you cut off a piece of brownie out of the pan and popped it into your mouth. And now I'm curious as if they would be good if I put one in the microwave to warm it up. Hmm. Anyway, they're really good, but I don't feel guilty about having one every day. I also hid them from the people in my house, or else I wouldn't have them as a treat because they would eat them. That's a recommendation for you today. Anyway, friends, that is all. This was a short and sweet episode because I just wanted you to get into these Black History Month book recommendations. That's all I've got today. So, friends, do me a favor. If you like what I do here, please go and leave a review of the pod on whatever platform that you follow us on. It helps us grow and it helps us to find more bookish friends. Okay, friends, again, happy Black History Month. I hope I helped you find a good book to escape with, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.